sixth chakra, Ajna chakra. Ajna chakra, what's known as our third eye. Ajna chakra. Ajna means center of command, the control center. From this center of consciousness is where we can control our universe, our body, our mind. This is why it's so important when we're meditating to bring all our attention, all our focus towards the third eye, between our eyebrows. Center of consciousness, center of command. This is the spiritual consciousness center. It's color indigo, deep blue color. Normally, Ajna chakra is represented by a lotus flower with two petals, like two wings. And this is a symbol that's widely used in modern medicine. We can see this on nurses, doctors, pharmacies, drugstores, what's known as the caduceu. This is basically, it's a staff with two wings, like two petals. And there's a snake or two snakes climbing up this staff. These snakes are both representing both nadis, Ida and Pingala, these two main energetic channels. And the center channel would be Sushumna, the main, the central channel. The snakes also represent Kundalini, the Kundalini awakening, awakening of consciousness. Center of consciousness, Ajna chakra. Ajna chakra has to do with our self-image, how we perceive ourselves. This is a very important concept for us to empower ourselves, to grow our self-image. You've probably seen this image of the cat looking in the mirror and seeing a lion. A lot of times it's the opposite. We can be a lion and we think we're just a little cat. Self-image, very important. And our self-image projects outwards and affects our posture. If we have a bad self-image, we tend to shrink, or we tend to try to look bigger and stronger. We don't accept ourselves. Ajna is about self-acceptance, about our reflection, our self-reflection, how we see ourselves. It's also about our ability to see beyond the obvious, beyond the illusion, beyond Maya, the illusion, what we think is reality. In this whole yogic philosophy, the world we're living in, what we call the material reality, our universe, is simply an illusion, just like a dream. Ajna chakra, an activated third eye, allows us to see beyond this illusion, to see the ultimate reality. And the ultimate reality is your true self, the divinity that's inside of everything. Ajna chakra is about our inner perception, the clarity of thought, having clear thoughts, clear mind. When we're meditating, it's not about having a blank, white mind. It's about having a clear mind, not having a scattered mind full of thoughts. There's no control there. We need to find that holy indifference where we're not reacting, we're not seeking sensations and escaping from sensations that we don't like. Clarity, the inner perception. Ajna chakra has to do with our intuition. It's the sixth chakra. Number 6, it's above the 5 elements. There's no element related to the sixth eye because this is beyond the third eye. The sixth chakra is beyond the 5 elements. First chakra, earth. Second chakra, water. Third chakra, fire. Fourth chakra, air. Fifth chakra, the akash, the ether. And now sixth chakra, beyond the elements. Some people would say that light is the element, but light is not an element. But this is a way of understanding light, what's shining, what's beyond. Sattva. This is the element we want to relate with this chakra. It's the seat of Shiva. Shiva. Shiva, we relate to Shiva as the god of death, the god of dance. It's the death of our ego, the death of ignorance, the death of attachments. It's a very important concept. Shiva has the same root as Jiva. It's your soul, seat of consciousness, the inner consciousness beyond our thoughts. This has to do with insight, with contemplation, our ability to sit and contemplate, because this is what ultimately your true self does. Your true self only contemplates. True self is just an observer. It's just the eternal witness. The true self is just sitting, not doing anything. Self-image, reflection, clarity of thought, inner perception, intuition, our ability to see beyond the illusion. So there's this concept, what we call ignorance. In our Western world, calling somebody ignorant, it's an insult, and people get defensive. We relate ignorance to not having studied, not having a master's degree. But in Samkhya, in the yogic philosophy, ignorance is confusing the illusion, the material world, with the ultimate reality. The ultimate reality is beyond this material world. Ultimate reality is your true self, without any. Your true self is without any attributes, is beyond death, was never born, will never die. Weapon cannot pierce through your true self. The elements cannot touch your true self. It's beyond our comprehension. And going beyond ignorance, this is what yoga is about. That's the samadhi, the liberation. Liberation, awakening of consciousness, going beyond the ignorance, understanding that what we call reality is just a dream. And dreams, the dream world relates to our third eye, to our sixth chakra. A way of working and activating our third eye is through lucid dreaming, conscious dreaming. Lucid dreaming is when you're dreaming and you realize you're dreaming. Maybe that's happened to you, maybe not. But this is something easily to achieve. We can train ourselves to realize we're dreaming when we're dreaming. Lucid dreaming, how to activate lucid dreaming. Such an important tool to awaken this center of consciousness. Conscious awakening. This is above the lower chakras. This chakra is governed by the planet Saturn. Saturn is a planet that, if you know about Jyotish, about Vedic astrology, a lot of times people relate to this planet as a negative planet, problematic planet. But if we can see beyond this, and instead of focusing on this is a problem, and we can focus on this is an opportunity to grow. Saturn seems to be a problem. Meditating, sitting down and meditating seems to be a problem. But it's a solution, it's an opportunity. Ajna chakra can have imbalances because it's overactive or underactive. If it's overactive, this can be a person that's intolerant, has no patience, a person that's judgmental, that's judging others, that's always just seeing the wrong in others but cannot see him, herself. Somebody that's hallucinating. When we take some psychedelic drugs or psychotropic plants, this can awaken a lot of visions that can allow us to grow internally. But most people take these plants or drugs just because they want to escape. And then all those potential visions just become hallucinations. And people get trapped and entangled even more in the illusion. If we really want to activate our third chakra, we don't need to use any drugs or plants. What we need to is to clean our body, clean our mind, and meditate, go inwards. Delusion, craziness. There's a very subtle, very thin line between being crazy and being awakened. People that are awakened seem to be crazy for most people. If I walk around saying that this, what people call reality, is just a dream, people will call me crazy. So there's a very subtle line between awakening and just being nuts, hallucinating, delusion. This third eye chakra, Ajna chakra, sixth chakra, can also be imbalanced because of an underactivity. And when there's underactivity, there's a lack of empathy. We're very selfish. We cannot see beyond what's good for us. We don't relate to how other people are experiencing. And it's very important. Empathy is a great quality that we need to develop in order to grow. There's no common sense when this third eye is underactive. What's wrong seems to be right, what's right seems to be wrong. What's good for you seems not to be good for you, and what's not good for you seems to be good for you. There's no common sense. Even people that are cynics, cynicism is a symptom of an underactive third eye. So this third eye, Ajna chakra, has a lot to do with what people call the sixth sense. The sixth sense can be telepathy or clairvoyance, lucid dreaming that I already mentioned. Clairvoyance, seeing the future, predicting the future, maybe having these dreams that predict the future. Or telepathy, we can believe this or not, but you've probably heard of mothers that even if the kid is far away, they can sense when the kid is in danger, when something has happened. Or this can also happen between twins. There is some kind of telepathy. This is a healthy third eye that we can train, we can learn to work with this. Some imbalances can also be seen when somebody has eye problems, sight problems. All kinds of sight, eye problems are an imbalance in our third eye. Also forgetfulness, when people tend to forget everything, when people cannot concentrate. These are some of the third eye's imbalances. When our third eye is closed because I don't like saying closed, even if this is a word to explain, because all chakras are active in certain degree, except for when we die, that's when they would be closed. So closed third eye is ignorance. I already explained what ignorance is, when we confuse our body with our true self. So there's one very important thing that we can do to purify our Ajna chakra, and this is to stop using conventional toothpastes. Conventional toothpaste comes with fluor, and even if they've made us believe that fluor is good for dental cavities, it's not. You can research about it. Fluor has no effect on your teeth, but fluor has an effect on your pineal gland. And the pineal gland is the physical part inside of our brain, in the center of our brain. It's a tiny gland, like a pine cone shape. And this gland, it's a control gland. This is a very important part of our brain. And fluor calcinates, calcification of your pineal gland is due to consumption of fluor. And there's fluor in most toothpastes, and now even in tap water. In a lot of countries, there's fluor in tap water. This is even if people can say this is conspiracy theories, I cannot understand why the government would approve putting fluor in tap water, why the government would approve fluor in dental toothpaste. The pineal gland produces melatonin, and melatonin is a serotonin base or derived from serotonin. And this hormone, it's what modulates our sleep patterns. So a good healthy sleep, very important, going to bed early, sleeping soundly, very important to keep our third eye healthy. This pineal gland, controls most functions of our body. There's some relationships, some people would say that third eye relates to the pituitary gland. We will talk about pituitary gland in the next chakra. So this is about conscious awakening, revelations, illumination. So ways of working with this chakra. The bija mantra for this chakra, the seed mantra, is Om. Om, singing Om. It's what's helped us. Repeating the Om. We can repeat the Om even when we're eating in silence. We can repeat the Om throughout a whole yogic practice. So we've seen that for the lower chakras, we have a lot of postures and breathing techniques, pranayamas, because it's grosser chakras. But this is a subtler chakra. So the practice is subtler. For activating the third eye, maybe postures where we put our forehead to the ground like child's pose. But more meditation. Meditation is the posture to purify and activate the pineal gland, Ajna chakra. We can also use the cleansing of the nose, the jala neti, the neti pot, when we're pouring lukewarm salty water through one of our nostrils and it's coming out the other one. Or there is also the sutra neti, we're putting a little, like a straw, a string inside one nostril, bringing out the mouth. There are certain powders to inhale, there are certain smokes that we can exhale through the nose in order to cleanse our third eye, our sinuses, and the whole area around the third eye. The main practice, Nadi Shodhana, what's known as the alternate breathing practice, alternate pranayama. Nadi Shodhana, we're breathing in through one nostril, retaining, exhaling the other nostril. So, center of consciousness, we're almost reaching Sahasrara, the seventh chakra, chakra of detachment.